You may be seated. It is a good song. And it's a great day. I love this time of year, and we certainly are in a new place with our new vision, our new mission, and our core values. So today we're going to look at that first core value of integrity. And so let's look at living in integrity. So there's a group of people that got together to flesh out and dig in. What does integrity mean to us? And for each core value, we came up with an affirmation, a definition, individual behaviors, so ways we can do it for ourselves, and community behaviors, ways that we can do it. We did that for each one. So the definition we came up with is this: integrity is opening honestly to the present moment and being guided by our spiritual essence as we align our outer expression with our inner truth. Pretty good. It's pretty good. Now, this document, we're not going to change our core values, but the definitions and the behaviors it's organic. It's a living document, so we may discover other ways of describing how we're living in integrity. I chose this scripture passage, Luke 6:45, from the Message translation. It says, "It's who you are, not what you say and do, that counts. Your true being brims over into true words and deeds." So let's unpack this metaphysically. Who you are is that awakening soul, that vibrant soul that's always one with God. Now, in our relative experience and say we're one with God, it's a conceptual idea, but where we experience it is who we are. And that true being is connecting with that Christ consciousness, that spiritual essence that aligns us with the highest purpose, the greatest truth. Because in the divine wisdom, what's true is always true. Isn't truth just truth? That's good, because in our journey as spiritual beings, we can align ourselves with God, align ourselves with that awakening soul within us, and bring that forward to inform how we're going to live our lives. Does that sound good? Excellent. So the next piece of this was looking at our individual behaviors. So this is the first one, but we'll add things to this as we determine others. But this says, being true to my Christ consciousness, I keep promises. I own my mistakes. I speak truthfully. I seek guidance in times of uncertainty. Now there's a lot to unpack in this sentence, but it is an awakening to integrity in our lives. So, keeping our promises, owning our mistakes, speaking truthfully, and seeking guidance when I just don't know what's next. Sometimes that can happen more frequently, and sometimes we get a little break. We don't have to figure something out. But we regularly need to seek guidance, and where is that guidance going to be found? In aligning ourselves with our heart space, with aligning ourselves with people we know. There's people we trust. We have friends. We have prayer partners. We have spouses. We have mentors. We have sponsors. We have people that we can ask, what would you do in this situation? Have you ever been here before? I don't want to reinvent the wheel. And that gives us one, when we show our vulnerability to another, what does that do for the person we're relating with? It brings us closer together. It makes us feel connection. Because when we're vulnerable with another person, we're real. We're not putting on the facade of, oh, everything's fine. I won't tell you what fine means. But anyway, that is a great thing to do. And we are living in integrity when we open to that. So another way of looking at this, Reverend Eric Butterworth, great minister who served in New York, written some wonderful books. He says, you can never be less than you really are. You are an expression of the infinite. That's what you are. You're one with God. You're one with the energy that creates daffodils and galaxies. You're one with the energy and the power that can navigate glaciers and rivers and mountains. Living in integrity, we must accept the truth of who and what we are. Another word for it might be godlet. We're all godlets. A seed of God growing into God. An avocado grows into an avocado tree, yes? A plum seed grows into a plum. A carrot seed grows a Brussels sprout. No. What does the seed of God grow? God. And each of us has that indwelling seed and light of God, which is God's passion to be expressed. Look down at your hands. Those are the hands of God. Feel your feet. Those are the feet of God. And if we approach life from our heart space, there's no telling what amazing things we will do together. It really is living in integrity. The next piece that we created was what's a way that integrity is communicated through our community. What we wrote was, we foster a culture steeped in Christ consciousness with trust and accountability. We do the right thing without concern for recognition. Now that's very powerful. Because what good is it if we do our sacred service looking for the payback? Looking for, well, if I do this, you're going to do that for me. It changes the equation. Sacred service is giving the love, helping someone else have a better day, lifting someone else up so they can experience joy and peace and healing. And not for the recognition that we have, but for the blessing that we can be. What I hear over and over and over in our Helping Hands program is people ask for help, and then people who showed up with such joy and enthusiasm to drive them to the airport, or to set up their VCR, or to put their bed together, or whatever it is. And they felt a deeper connection and made friends with the people they asked for help from. Now that's a good thing. That's drawing connections. So our Helping Hands program is helping us connect with each other. It's the reward of sacred service. but we don't do it to get recognition. Our great wisdom of Dr. H. Emily Cady, she wrote Lessons in Truth, which was a foundational book. In fact, for decades, in unity, the way to become a minister was to take lessons in truth and demonstrate in your life everything that it says in the book. And if you could demonstrate everything in the book, you're a unity minister. Now, they don't do that way now, but it is a powerful book. And if you've never read it, it is a treasure. And she says, it is your thoughts that determine your world. We have this incredible power to choose where our thoughts are going to be and reside. And if we're choosing those thoughts, why not choose the thoughts that come from the wisdom of our Christ consciousness? And those thoughts are changing not only our lives, it's changing our community. It's changing our nation. It's changing our world. Since we're all one, and it's pretty easy. If you remember that first view of Earth from space, this beautiful little blue sphere, it looks like a marble in space. That tiny little place is us. There's just one Earth. This world is waiting for us to birth forth our awakening soul and bring forth healing, balance, creativity, and wholeness. Doesn't that sound like a good thing? A good way to be? Yes, thank you. It's wonderful because we can think. So what ideas of integrity come to your heart in this moment? Anyone? Truthfulness. Very good.
I've always wanted better. I knew there had to be a better way. There had to be. I grew up with dysfunctional. Lots of it. I just knew this can't be it. And so my little creative way of trying to find out, I would read a lot. And there's this book, Is a Man Thinking? So be it. And that is a powerful book for me that explains that. Your thoughts, what you think, that's what you're going to be. It's going to be that way. You say, oh, I can never achieve that. You're right, because you just said it. Then you're never going to achieve it. So words that we tell ourselves.
Words are important, that what we tell ourselves, that always looking that my life can be better. And from reading As a Man Thinketh, it affirms this idea of knowing what the highest is for ourselves and then going forward with that. So beautiful. We are on a journey, and I invite you to join me this week with this personal exploration. The first is meditation, to listen deeply to the inner voice. This is taking a time daily where we separate ourselves from the to-do list, from everything, and quietly rest, renew, and connect. It's important to have this, because if we do this every day, when a mess happens, when it breaks, or when we stumble and fall, we've got a little reservoir of peace. We've got a beat to decide how we're going to respond rather than react to those things. Ultimately, that allows us to accept and forgive and grow from every situation. Because believe it or not, every day is not going to be just easy all the time. If everyone's figured out how to have it easy all the time, please tell me how to do it, because I'm not there yet. But I'm not forgetful about my oneness with God for very long before I come back and remember the truth. Age does have its privileges. Don't mess with all that running around. So the second one is denials and affirmations. I think denials and affirmations is one of the most powerful tools that unity teaches. It's anything that has had control over us, we can deny its power over us. It's not denying that it exists, it's just no longer accepting that it's going to have the car keys. And with that, yeah, thank you for getting that. So, with that, we say this situation has no power over me. And then we always affirm it with truth. So we release the falsehood and affirm a truth. And we release the falsehood easily, like we're just wiping away a cobweb. But we affirm the truth with conviction as if it has already manifested in our life. So my fear that I don't have enough money to pay the rent has no power over me, because I know that my source is God and there's no lack in God. And I open to that prosperity now. It works. It's powerful. And then third one is sacred service. Acting in harmony with divine guidance. This is a sacred service community. We know the value of serving and helping others and rising to be a presence of love. And that sacred service is opening our heart to that oneness with God so that our hands and our feet are doing the greatest work that can be done. And so these and other ideas that come to you about integrity are our journey of living in integrity. Are you ready to do that? Thank you. Blessings on this journey.